Welcome back to Uprising. I'm Sonali Kolhatkar. 2 years ago, teachers at Garfield High School in Seattle, tired of seeing their students have precious teaching time stolen from them because of the hours of required standardized testing, decided they would revolt. They began refusing to administer the Measures of Academic Progress, or MAP test. The revolt spread to a number of other schools, and eventually the teachers were told the test would not be a requirement of graduation. Thus began a new stage of organizing among teachers and students against the regime of high-stakes testing. Standardized tests have become a symptom of just how broken our public education system is. More specifically, they are the result of what happens when billionaires and politicians apply their warped understanding of what education is to a system that impacts millions of lives. Between President Bush's No Child Left Behind law and President Obama's Race to the Top initiative, students' test scores are being used to determine federal funding for schools and teacher tenures and pay. But students are more than a score, say a growing number of people, including my guest, Jesse Hagopian. He's the editor of More Than a Score, the new uprising against high-stakes testing. He teaches history and is the Black Student Union advisor at Garfield High School in Seattle, an associate editor of Rethinking Schools, a founding member of Social Equality Educators, winner of the 2013 Secondary School Teacher of the Year Award from the Academy of Education, Arts and Sciences. He's a contributing editor to Education and Capitalism, Struggles for Learning and Liberation, and 101 Changemakers, Rebels and Radicals Who Changed U.S. History. He writes regularly for Truth Out, Common Dreams, Socialist Worker, Black Agenda Report, and the Seattle Times op-ed page, and he now joins me. Welcome to Uprising. Welcome to Uprising, Jesse Hagopian.
Thanks so much for having me today.
Now, first, going back to 2013, when you and your fellow teachers began refusing to administer the MAP test that I mentioned, did you imagine that you would win even the sort of small victory that you did? I mean, of course, at that time, it was a huge victory.
No, that's right. We had no idea where it would lead, but we knew we couldn't go on the same path we had. We knew we were being asked to administer a test that wasn't even properly aligned to our curriculum. We knew we were being asked to administer an exam that was humiliating to our English language learners because it wasn't linguistically or culturally appropriate. We knew we were being asked to administer a computer-based exam in the MAP test that monopolized our libraries, where our computer labs are, for weeks at a time, 3 times a year, so that they became off limits for research or for checking out books. And we knew that this test was eroding the quality of education, and we couldn't be accomplice in that anymore. And we had to stand up and say no, and I'm proud to say that the Garfield faculty voted unanimously to refuse to administer this exam. And even though we were threatened with a 10-day suspension without pay, the teachers pressed on because of the solidarity and outpouring of support from around the country and really around the world, as thousands of letters of support came flooding into Garfield High School, and signatures gathered from Japan to Australia to all over. And it was that support that kept us going, and the announcement that the MAP test would be canceled for high schools indefinitely at the end of the school year was a huge victory for us, and I think it signaled a new momentum in the struggle for authentic assessment.